Hello, weirdos and weirdettes. It's me, Haunted. I would say happy Weird Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. I'm on a different day today. So, happy Thursday. I don't know how to maybe happy 10 Thunders Thursday. There we go, because we're working on a 10 Thunders model. How about that? That'll work. So, today we're going to be working on the Monkey King himself, Sun Wukong. We've got him built and primed. He was actually a pretty quick build. Probably the hardest part on him was the tail, which I have kind of off here to the side with the book. But otherwise, an absolutely breeze of a model. Like his arm, I was telling Weird Hobby here, his arm literally popped in and really almost didn't need glue. It was just that perfect. So I'm enjoying that figure. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be painting him, your kind of standard orangutan colors. Poor tailless monkey. I know he'll get his tail later. I promise. So we're going to start out with some dark Prussian blue, kind of my go-to for blues. And I'm still kind of debating on whether this gentleman is going to be getting non-metallic metal or if he's going to be true metallic metal. The greaves on him are relatively small. Non-metallic metal probably wouldn't take too horribly long to make it convincing, but at the same time, I'm just not sure if I want to do that. We'll see how I feel, how far along we get with what we're doing today, and if we make enough progress that looks like I can get that done, then we will. Otherwise, we'll just stick with the other. Have to be careful that his staff sticks out pretty far, so I've got to watch my finger as I'm using it for a brace, because otherwise we'll snap that sucker off. We don't want that. So how is everybody doing today? Are y'all working on any Malifaux yourselves? Or just models in general? Or just hanging out? Tell me about it. I think I have my camera just a little too close because I keep banging it. Hopefully won't be too horribly distracting. That's the third time in a row, though. Weird Hobby, if you're around, we may need to refocus because I'm going to move the camera up just a smidge. Okay. Oop. Make sure we're in frame just a wee bit more. Okay, there we go. That should be it. Oh, you're working on Harold Toll? Cool. Nice, nice. That's awesome. I need to get that model just because of that cat. I remember when that artwork first came out. I was like, oh yeah, I need that. He's got a cat on his shoulder. Need it. I mean, with the exception of Caitlin Abernathy, Malifaux has a decidedly large lacking of cats. I think we need more cats. Well, I guess December has some, but yeah, we need more cats. Like on Lurk. Okay, appreciate that, Lurk. Lurkers are always appreciated. Let us know when you're back. We can have a chat. Okay, so we got our first coat down here. Actually, I think that's covering pretty good. We probably won't need a second coat. Just hit some areas I missed earlier. Okay. Give that just a little bit to dry. While it's drying, we're going to work on some of the other colors. So we're going to hit some of this burnt red. This will dry a lot darker. Don't worry. We actually kind of need to blend a little bit. Just some gray on that bicep because it looks like his skin kind of pops through there. The kind of gray skin tone they have. So we'll just see how we can do that. So we're not going to get too crazy on the burnt brown there. This is a really good model for contrast. You know, blues and oranges work really well together. He doesn't have really any hair on his hands, so I'm not going to worry with those. Come on over here to this other side. Has anybody watched American Born Chinese yet on Disney? It's a Sun Wukong story. So it's about the Monkey King, or more about the Monkey King's son than the Monkey King, but it's related. So if you've not watched it, that'd be a good one to watch after we're done painting today. Now, spread out as his feet are, he's still kind of rocky. I don't know if you notice that little bit of brush pressure, and he starts rocking. So I definitely recommend putting something on the base that you can grab him by. Like, you know, I'm going to do some 3D printed bamboo stalks. That's what I'll do. Because, well, I have the files for it. May as well, right? So that would be my suggestion. If you're painting one of these yourself, definitely look at something for picking him up by. Either, you know, street lamp or whatever, just something. Because that foot, that contact point, unless you super glue it plastic glue it, cement it down to the base before painting, I would say it's going to be a weak point. kind of stabbing that paint in. It's hard to get in some of those little crevices of the hair. So kind of stab, stab, stabby. It's very therapeutic. Stab, stab, stabby, stab, stab. I like how they got this kind of like magical wispy effect going on, and it actually kind of blends into the hair. So the hair on his head kind of starts turning into the "we're not quite real" wispiness, like I'm coming straight out of the book thing. I like that. I think I need to push my camera back just a wee back. I think I'm kind of staying out of frame. Here we go. We're back to hitting the damn camera. Well, I tried, folks. We're just going to be hitting the camera, I guess. Okay, we got a little bit of the, I think we have just a wee bit of hair on the feet, yeah. So let's get chocolate monkey. It's actually orange brown or red brown, not chocolate brown. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, llama? Yeah. Gonna need to get a better brush on this one, I think. Get up in there, get close. It's like a chocolate rabbit, but hopefully not hollow. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's kind of that borderline of not real kind of thing. He could be hollow at this point. Though I'm not sure how he picked that staff up, since it's supposed to weigh 17,600 pounds, if I remember correctly, from folklore. They made a big deal about how much that staff weighed in most of the stories, because it was supposed to show, just how strong the Monkey King was. They make a big deal of that. I think it was 17,600. It could have been 400, something like that. But it was 17,000 pounds plus is what that staff is supposed to weigh. Okay, so got that base color in there on the orange or the brownish orange, whatever we want to call it. Let's see here. Good thing is, it looks like we don't really need to do any touch-ups on the blue. Hurrah. I have a feeling we're going to end up doing true metallic metal, I think, on those the greaves. I do believe. And he's got some sort of wrap here. Now the artwork shows it blue, like his pants. I don't know if we want to do that. We may. Let's just see. That way we can do it and the other all at once. There we go. Bring it around. The other thing is, almost every depiction I've seen, the staff has been red with like gold filigree on it. So we're going to paint it red rather than the blue that is showing on the packaging as well. So we're going to depart from packaging on that as well. I know, shock, right? Because I almost always try to do box art or close to it. Got a little paint buffer there. We're going to come in and paint his the first color of his face, which is a dark color, or the skin tones, which is a very dark gray. This is I forgot the name of it. Eclipse gray. That's it. Same for the hands here. This is the same colors I used on the test subject. It's what we're going to. Oh, wow. The focus just went right out the freaking window. There we go. But same colors we use on this are what we're going to be using on him. I just happen to have that test subject with me. How about that? It's almost like I planned for it, but it was 100% I was working on bases for my Trixie Wixie crew. I've got to do the resin pours on all of them now. The painting portion is done, so now we just lack the resin, and I will have my Trixie crew painted and based, ready to go. Well, I take that back. I still have one Rooster Rider left to paint. And I feel like that's an important model. Probably should have already gotten it done because apparently you either run three Bushwhackers or three Rooster Riders. Seems to be the most common configuration on them. So, anyways. Some of this will be hidden by that little spell effect too, so I'm not too concerned about it. I did not put that spell effect on the base. Hey, Tiger, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. I was wondering if you're around lurking. Mostly lurking. Yeah, understand it. Well, it's good to see. And like I said, lurking is always appreciated. You know that. A break between work calls. Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, lurkers help the numbers, so they are always welcome. Like a panda popped in to lurk earlier. They, I wasn't even I wasn't technically live, even though the stream was. I wasn't able to respond at that point. So, but I know they're there. So we've had a surprisingly mundane July this year. Usually the yeehaws up here, that's what I'm calling them, because this is just the least bad thing I can call them right now. They they blow up fireworks nonstop from July 1st on to the end of the month, basically. And they did it July 4th. 3rd, there was too much rain. Understandable. The first 3 days, too much rain. But they had shot off a couple last night, I think, and a couple the night before. But it's not been the nonstop stream of fireworks, which has been really nice. Usually the pets are an absolute wreck by the time July 4th is over, and they're starting to get back into normal routines again already. Let's see here. Been away from Malifaux far too long, but between the Thunderstarter set and Lin Lee boxes, I'm getting pulled back. Yes, yes. Yes, Tiger has a very active RPG life. Okay, so we're just going to drop in some gray here. This is going on the pectoralis, pec muscles, those things, the chesticles for a dude. Okay. There we go on that. Okay, so we got some of our base coats there. See, about starting some highlights maybe. We're gonna shoot more into a blue green, I think, from that Prussian. So we're gonna end up adding a bit of white to that as we go along. Let's hit our next color. This is Panzer Aces periscopes. I love how he's got his hand in his pocket, just so nonchalant, you know, like, hey, I'm the Monkey King. Can't mess with me. I got a 17,000-pound stick. One thing I probably should have done, which I didn't, is actually clean out that little socket where his tail goes, because it's got primer in it, so that the tail glues properly. So I gotta try and do it after it's painted, which is going to be much more difficult because I forgot. So if you do a sub-assembly model like this, make sure that the places that parts will glue in later are clear before you start painting, because you run the risk of scratching up your pretty paint if you wait till after, like I'm doing. So just a helpful, handy tidbit of advice, right? Are we still in frame? Am I falling out of frame again? Do we need to adjust? I think we're in frame. I think I just moved it while I was grabbing paint. Okay, and we're going to hit the wrinkles on this other side here, and then we'll be switching up colors. We're not switching up, but mixing up another highlight color. And probably switching brushes. It'd be nice if I wouldn't be sticking to my a little backdrop here, this black sheet of paper. I keep my forearm sticking to it. It's that swampy in here, folks. Really, really becoming annoying. Probably so. I mean, it's because there's literally a dark spot over on this right hand corner from the moisture where my arm's been sitting. So I have no doubt that my arm is probably going to be streaked black before the day is out. Okay, there's that. Okay, so now we're going to add just a wee bit of white to that color. And we're going to switch over to one of those new Foxbite brushes. Got to get the starch out of it. I left it in clean, or not the starch, but the conditioner. So I put some conditioner in it, left it on there. So I'd have a nice crisp point to work with today. I like the brushes, but one of the concerning things is, like, if you leave them, even if you don't get paint up in the ferrule, which I've not done yet, right? You come back to them the next day and they're fuzzy. They like fluff up and fuzzy, and it looks bad. It's scary, but you put a little conditioner on them and they're 100% fine. They go back to holding that point again. But boy, when you see them that first day after you've used them and they're all spread out, it looks like bad news. It looks like the brush has just come apart, but it's not. It works fine. Like I said, these little cheapy brushes, well, I say the cheap, but $55 for a set of 7, have worked better than that $24 Artist Opus brush. Which just doesn't seem fair or right. Okay, there's those wrinkles. Now we're going to work on the other side here. Or this arm over here. Arm. This leg thing over here, this leg unit. Because I've forgotten what anatomy is. Call it an arm. This might not have been enough of a contrast. I might should have gone a little bit lighter on the a little bit more white in there, but we'll see how it works. Come in and I shape up the rear end here, the caboose, as it were. And then catch these wrinkles here. Okay, all right, got that. Oh, so swampy. All right, now we're going to bring in a little bit more white to what we originally had. Now we're going to get some highlighting at this point. I'm bound and determined to break that staff. I've hit it about 14 times. I don't want to, but I have a feeling it's going to break before I'm done. Okay, so now bring a little bit more detail here into the rear. Catch some of these wrinkles here, because now okay, now we're going to highlight this right leg. Basically, been doing what we've been doing. Smaller and smaller lines of lighter and lighter color. Okay, and then just, hey, Spill Paint Pots, how are you doing? Welcome in. It's been a minute. How are you doing? Okay, now we're going to do just some tiny, tiny little spits and spots here. has been hard catching up streams this last week. Doing well, working through Malifaux backlog for remaining and loving it. Except for the faces. I'm rubbish at tiny faces. Yeah. I do understand that one, my friend. They are not easy. Listen, I don't know if it's a control thing or a vision thing. And it could be a vision thing and you think it's a control thing. So if you haven't already, go on Amazon and look for this little magnifier here. Kind of look like a bug eye, right? Hangs down over your temples like that and allows you to look straight ahead basically, but then tilt your eyes down and then you can see the model. Pick up the one with the 5X and the 7X. I can't remember which number it is. And it will make your life a lot easier on those faces, I promise. They're a little pricey. I think I spent $24 on that thing, but it is well worth the money. I mean, I wear magnifier glasses when I'm doing my regular painting, but when I start doing like tiny details, I break those suckers out. And you see all your mistakes with those. But it can help you correct because it allows you to see them, right? If the cost is better faces is $24, gladly pay it. There you go. Yep, definitely. I agree. Like without those things, I can barely see the eyes in the models, right? Let alone paint them. So it definitely makes a difference. See if we can get the other side back. I don't have the bug eyes on, no, but I will be putting them on before this model's done, I promise. I tend not to put them on until I really need them because I don't want to get one too used to them and to pull my eyes out any worse than they already are, you know. Okay, so the pants are done now. Hey, Crow, welcome in. How are you doing? Good to see you. Now this is Calvary Brown that we're working with now, and I might skip this on him because he's pretty small details and pretty small hair tufts. So I may skip this color and just go to the next one, which is orange brown. Let's see if it's too big a disparity. Actually, I think that's right. Kind of on target. Glad to hear it. I'm doing all right. Getting good grades. Future so bright. I gotta wear shades. I'm sorry. Uh, old song just popped in my head there. Somebody please tell me know the song I was singing. I don't want to feel too damn old. Okay, good. Somebody knows it. I don't feel so bad now. Yeah, and there's me hitting that damn staff again. My lord, I'm definitely gonna snap that thing off before the day's out. You watch. And you guys will see a grown man cry on TV live if I do. But it's just at this point it's guaranteed I'm going to snap it. I've hit it so many times. So we're just kind of cutting this orange brown in, doing kind of a dry brush on these areas around the face because they're pretty nicely defined. And we may come in and tip them with some. Ooh, wow, we missed a whole area back here. Tip them with some of the Calvary brown. I think I mistook that for that little magical effect. That's why I didn't catch that area very well. We're going to try not to paint every individual hair like we did on Lynn Lee, because that was an exercise there, folks. We spent about an hour and 45 minutes of 3 hours doing hairs. I mean, sure, it looks better than a dry brush, but at some point you got to judge when is enough, right? Especially when you're trying to finish a miniature on stream. We still didn't finish it, but we got closer anyways. So he doesn't have any fur on the back. So what we're trying to do is just simulate a little bit of fur and defining the muscle groups at the same time. So yeah, we are drawing individual hairs again, but not like tiny, tiny hairs. I am a funny muscle group. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. You notice one thing I've not done in a long time is complain about muscle anatomy in Malifaux minis. They've gotten a lot better. Some of them, especially like those oh god, what were they called? The Lotus Blossom monks, the Last Blossom monks. I can't remember their names, but anyways, they had some truly atrocious muscle anatomy. It's just like bugs underneath the skin kind of thing is what it looked like. But it didn't matter so much because I did freehand on tattoos on their back, so they looked cool. All righty. Bring some of that around here. All right. We're going to work on the arm a little bit here. Again, the hair is not really well defined, so we're just going to kind of do what we did before. Just kind of feather in some streaks. Try and follow a hair-ish pattern. I actually need to come in here and get that real quick. That part did not get painted in between those beads. Now, one departure I'm going to do here on those beads, they're all painted red. And I think because of the red nature of the colors that I'm using already in the fur, the reddish orange, I'm going to paint them green, jade green. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and we're going to work it on area up here. That tries and buys and all those weird names up here. Okay. How we doing? We only been going about an hour. Wow. All right. We might actually finish or mostly finish this guy. We may not get that book done. But hey, I'll take it. We will see how that works out. And if we do finish him, then the next thing we'll be working on is the Raijin, the Storm Lord. Made some kind of dig about familiarity with the subject that makes you paint faster. I don't paint that many monkeys or orangutans. I don't know what you're talking about. I quite enjoy painting them though. They're actually pretty fun. You know, doing something other than Caucasian or Asian flesh tone is nice. But I guess I have painted a good many. If you think about it, I did the oh shoot, what are they called? What are Asami's minions called? The blue simians. I painted them as orangutans as well. Instead of the blue, I did the orange fur with the gray skin. And then of course did the test subject, and then this one, yokai. That's it. That's the ones. So I've done 5 monkey type models for minis for Malifaux so far. So I guess I do have a little bit of a familiarity with them, huh? I've always made the joke that my uncle was a monkey. Well, there we go. Okay. Let's start. What do we want to hit next? I think we're just going to go ahead and do the last fur tone here, which is going to be Cavalry Brown. Let's get some of that. Come down here. Get some of these hairs. All right, got that face done. Now we'll start working on the rest of the little skin or fur bits on the skin. God, my ears are ringing today. Like the Church of Notre Dame in my head. Okay, kind of come around here and catch a few of these right here, right at the abductors. We're just going to kind of come in and do some small hair streaks with that this color that we've been using, the scrofulous, whatever, brown from Leho. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be branching out into a different kind of commission painting soon. Something I used to do way back in the day. But I used to paint Lexan bodies for RC cars. and kind of been out of the business for 20 years or so, and decided to get back into it. And I'm having to teach myself all over again how to paint inside out, because you paint the inside of a Lexian body. So whatever you want to be, like if you're doing edging or something, you have to paint that first and then fill in behind it. So it's kind of like if you've ever seen people that paint windows in shops and stuff, that they tend to go backwards. Same deal. But main thing was all my paints from before were absolutely desiccated. Like one of the cans had literally just kind of bubbled its entire contents out into the tub they were in. Like it just tossed its cookies. So I had to buy all new. And first I had to research, what brands were out there now. Because the ones that I used to use, like Pactra and what was it, Fast Color from Parma, those were no longer available. So turns out, believe it or not, Vallejo does a line of acrylic urethane paint for RC bodies. I was like, wow, that's cool. Now I can keep my sort of brand loyalty, because I do a lot of Vallejo colors, and still be able to do this new project. So that was good to have. So we're about done with this fur there. Just working on the fur around this foot here. Oops. Oopsie. The first time I oopsie today. Okay, fur's done. We'll get a little bit of work on the gray skin, and for that we're just going to mix some white in with the previous color. Catching those fingers, catching them fingers. Hopefully. Here we go. And come around on the backside and catch a little bit on this one here. A little bit of his palms right there, or the teeth bits here on the hand. And I probably should do some coloring down on the eyes. I'll probably have to put on the bug eyes to do it. He has a lot more human face than I thought he would. You know, being the Monkey King, he's got a much more human face than I expected. Like the nose is downright perfectly human. Come on. Oh, this took too long. The paint dried. Another little dib dab. There. So he has some orangey eyes. Get some toofies in here. We can. He got a little bit of a grin going. There we go. Yes, he's got a nice grin. Okay. Now we'll get a little bit more white in there. Oops, I forgot to do his freaking feet. Whoopsie. Well, not a big deal. We'll get him in a minute. See how those feet are shaping up now? Come in here and touch on the knuckles as well, on this side as well. Not much, because they kind of darkness. We're just getting these spots here. Okay. And we're going to get back to the lighter color that I made, which is almost dissolved. Hopefully we can finish up what we're doing. It looks really strong when it goes on, but it should mellow out a little bit. Come across and catch this knuckle here. Maybe that one there. Okay. Get some gray transition here. This bicep. Doesn't have to be super smooth because they're kind of blended into that fur a little bit. Same down here in the abs. And pecs. We'll get a little bit on here as well. And then we're going to go to the lighter one. We might just bring in just a little bit more red. I don't want it quite that white. There we go. That's where I wanted it. We'll get a little transition on this piece here as well. Okay. A little correction here by these beads. There we go. Need the blue and the oranges. And oh, we got to do the gray on the face. That's it. The last gray on the face. And then we'll start working on the metallic bits, I guess. Go. All right. Actually, probably let's go ahead and paint the. My nose would quit running. Please, please stop. Let's paint the jade, the beads first. Let's do that. Now the gray is done. Work on those. I'm truly going to have to pause here in a moment and go blow my nose, guys. I'm sorry. It's driving me nuts today. I don't know why. I think it's a relatively low allergen day, but not acting like it. Actually, probably need to do that strap first. See how the strap is underneath the beads? And you know, we're supposed to do those things from the furthest inside item to the outer one. Makes it easier to paint. Well, that strap is actually lower than the beads. We need to do it. Allergic to monkey hair. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it, Llama. I think we're just going to do good old black for that. Because brown would fade into the flesh. So we're going to do a good old black strap. Allergic to monkey hair. Who would have thunk? The Monkey King is playing pranks, even in miniature form. Like, this person's allergic to monkey hair. Let's make that real for them. I mean, I honestly don't know if I'm allergic to monkey hair, but more than likely I am. Because I'm allergic to so much stuff. Surprising amount of food allergies. Like, oh my gosh. And they have only gotten worse. Onion, chocolate, egg, green beans, and now starting to hit the more of the aromatics, like chili powder gives me a violent headache. And there is no substitute for chili powder. Like, you know, onion, sure, just add more garlic, right? That'll make your food savory. But there's no substitute for chili powder. I don't know what I'm supposed to do other than just pop a stand back before eating anything with chili powder in it. Which in my diet is basically everything. Sorry, I had a little hair stuck there on the brush. yeah. Anyways, let's get back to painting here. Not talking about allergies. So, does anyone have a favorite Monkey King story they want to talk about? He's always kind of been a favorite of mine, because the mischievous nature. That's, I guess he's the Chinese version of Loki. That's the best way to describe him. Okay, that's good there. A little edge highlight here. And then just pull a bit more white into it. That might be a little strong. Okay, now we can do the jade with impunity. We got that strap out of the way. All right. The last time I did some of these round beads like this, it was on oh god, what were they called? Katana Crime Lords or Katakana Crime Lords or whatever for Last Blossom, and I went and did every other bead gold. So it was green, gold, green, gold, green, gold. I about went nutto doing that. So that's why these are all going to be green. They'll all be jade. I'm not doing that alternating crap again. You hear that, Tiger? Your commission almost drove me nuts. I mean, it's a short drive, but What, no quit, Mama? Jeez, falling down on your duty. Okay, almost there. This one goes around the neck and around that magical effect. It's a fun one. Around that shoulder guard. Is in and around everything. Okay. We just had to touch up one little bit of the hair there. Probably could have waited till like the beads were done for touch ups, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit it so I don't forget it. Let's hit these other beads around his wrist. Plural. Both of them have them. Oh, I plan to. There will be more than just this green color, don't worry. It's almost like you don't know me. Actually, this bead probably should wait until we're doing the armor. So I'm going to just base it really and then quit until I get the armor done. Oh, yeah. No. No. So they'll get a color gradient on each bead, but they're not going to be a different color each bead. No. Never again. I say never again, but almost never again. How about that? Maybe when I paint my miniatures, I will think about things like alternating bead colors and stuff, but never again on a commission. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get some Calibite green. Ooh, we about made a mistake. The top came off. Not cool. Where are my pliers? Pliers. Have to use snips. I don't like using snips because they can cut it, but it's just bound to determine it's not going to come out of there. have them somewhere. Yes, thanks for making a mess of my paint bottle. That was great of you. Sorry about that, guys. Had to do a quick little repair because my paint decided to be a butthead. All right. It would have been colorful. When do I plan on being down in Atlanta again? Like Mido's Atlanta, or like on your side Atlanta? Bless you, cat. Bless you again. Yeah, that was a cat. Cookie sheet in the floor. Sounds like somebody has cookies or bread on their mind. That's what it sounds like to me. You could make cookies out of peanut butter. Oh no. Oh no. So peanut butter cookie is one of your favorites? I do love peanut butter. It's a good one. My all-time favorite is just good old-fashioned Toll House chocolate chip cookies. Like if I had my way, I'd just sit down with a tray of those and a gallon of milk, and that would be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's precisely one recipe for peanut butter cookies worth eating. The rest are awful. Huh. Okay, I'm going to have to see this recipe. You think is the only peanut butter recipe out there? Okay, you know what? It's time for the bug eyes. Rejoice, fans. The bug eyes are upon us. Peanut butter, cup sugar, egg, a few drops vanilla, chocolate chips optional. This sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Not gonna lie. Little tune up here. Goes a little guy a little crazy with the green. He does not look like peanut butter cookies. Well, good. He's not supposed to look like peanut butter cookies. He's supposed to look like a monkey king. We haven't gotten painting his crown yet. Okay. Let's get that last color. Like I said, we're waiting on the right bracelet until after we've done the metal. Thankfully, the paint was not a butt head this time. It came off without leaving the cap behind. We go. Getting these beads. Highlights painted. We're going to have to come back in and catch a couple of those hairs on this arm again because they got caught by the bead paint. We have a hair. We have an intruder. There it is. Okay. Getting these beads painted. Bless you, cat. Again. Go. See, what do we want to do? I think we do the red, the sash next. So let's break out our good old black red. That's our favorite base coat. Good Lord, you're a sneezy one today. I mean, you're always sneezy, but you're extra sneezy today. I guess y'all can see him. I was looking to see if the chair was actually in frame, but it's not. But he has definitely made his presence known today. He was being really needy. I was trying to chase him off with the vacuum cleaner. He'd stay gone about 10 minutes and he'd plod back in here and start wanting attention again. So, but I guess, like I said, with it being the 4th of July and all the fireworks and stuff, I guess I can't really blame him for being needy. He does not like loud noises. On that, we can agree. I'm not a big person for loud noises either. Going to a gaming store is painful for me most of the time, especially the busier game stores. Meeple, when it's like Friday night and there's 100 people in there playing Magic the Gathering, I can't stay for long. Like it melts my brain with all that noise. I'm almost thinking about doing the staff green, even though in the lore it's typically red with gold accents and stuff and jewelry work and stuff on it. I'm thinking about doing it green. Kind of like that little pop of green we had with the beads. But we'll see. I may still go red. Get a little bit down here. There we go. Alrighty. Gold belt cut in now. The base color. See, does he have that elsewhere? No, it's just that belt. All right, good. I think I am going to go ahead and paint the staff red. Let's go ahead and get that in there. It's funny, I did not notice the little filigree. I mean, barely noticed the filigree on at the ends before I put the glasses on. Like I knew it was there, but it was just barely perceptible. But boy, with these glasses, whoo! See it now. Llama, you never answered me, Llama. Are you here? Maybe. When you asked about when I was coming down to Atlanta, I asked Ubido way or your way, like east side, west side. Oh, either. East side is definitely a lot more probable. So you let me know. I would probably say though, just to be on the safe side, sometime next month. I know that's a bit of ways, but it's not too far as fast as it's going. Just because I've had so many doctor appointments piled up this month. It's like hadn't been to the doctor in 10, 12 years, and now they're all like trying to get a piece of me, it seems like. Yeah, definitely. I could go for some ramen. I did. There's actually supposedly a good little sushi restaurant in that area too. Like in the same, either in the same complex or in the next one down. So, I mean, I know it's not one of your super favorites, I don't think, but we might could try that out as something too. Or if you just want to go tried and true Amidos, because we know Amidos is good. Oh, it is? Okay. I thought you were, well, I didn't mean to say not your favorite, but I knew you're, well, I'm picky on it too, but picky on sushi, you know, Kroger sushi ain't gonna cut it kind of thing. Oh, you don't love wasabi? Well, wasabi is a very, very strong, very pungent item, and you have to be real careful with it. Very true. It can ruin ruin a sushi. Like one of the places that was around when I was going now, not here, but not there, but in Gainesville, when you'd get the nigiri, which is like the slice of fish on top of the little bed of rice, they put a smear of wasabi on it, and it kind of acts like glue as well as seasoning, right? Well, they always would just put this huge gob of wasabi in there, and they were disgusting. like couldn't choke them down kind of thing. So yeah, I get you on that one for sure. It's like the loud noise of sushi. All right, Panda. Have a great day. Thank you for hanging out. Trying to smooth this out a little bit, folks. It got a little chonky. Okay. Got that in. Let's go ahead and get while that's drying, get our other reds out. We need some Mephiston and some Evil Suns and some Power Rider. That's it. That's the one. And when I was talking about these brushes earlier, I will tell you one thing I have not done with them yet, and that is use metallics with them. I tend to do that with my good brushes, and I know it leads to their deterioration. It makes them fall apart much quicker. But I figure, if a brush lasts me one commission, it's done its job, and I've paid for another one, so it's not a big deal. But I thought with these, I would just, especially since they were, kind of bargain priced brushes, that I wouldn't tempt fate, and I see just how long I could get them to last. And part of that is avoiding metallics with them. I feel like we got a little weirdness going on there. Let me see. Looks like there's a little bit of place where I didn't quite get the base coat on the pants. Is that, or it's like a tide mark that I didn't catch? I think that's got it, but I'll have to reinforce that red later. We'll see once it dries how that looks. Now, if I really wanted to increase the longevity of the brushes, I'd quit licking them. But that's just we've determined that we'll do that one day, but today is not that day. It will be a brush liquor probably for life. It's a bad habit. I wish I'd never gotten into it. I mean, especially when you're dealing with if you're painting with oils, you got to be real careful not to lick those. Unless you like developing mouth cancer. Anyways, what I was saying about the sushi is I'll definitely try it first, and then maybe next time we can go there. But for this next meetup, we'll just go with tried and true Umaido because we know it's good. All right, now we're going to switch over to our Evil Sons. Okay. Get a little bit up in here. Well, I thought we were going to finish this guy up, but I feel like we're going to end up pushing it. I don't know if we are or not. We were starting out so strong. I need chat energy. I need people to talk. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this down. Last one on the belt. go. All right. Now, let's work on that silver. Do we want to do black metallic or just start with lead belcher? That's the question. Let's watch. We have lead belcher. Where's my black metallic? Is it not on the table? I thought I had it here. This may be an answer for us by it not being on the table. We might just do what we got. I swore I had black metallic. All right. Well, since we don't, we're going to use some lead belcher. We'll drop some non-oil gloss on it, and then we'll work up with lead belcher and then some chrome. Have not used this in a while, so really need to shake it. Okay, I think that's got it good now. Okay, put that brush out of the way because we don't want to use it. Remember, we're trying to stay away from metallics with the these brushes, just to see how long they hold up or how well they hold up. There's that card there. And let's get the part that goes onto the hand. Okay. The shoulder. Sometimes I've found when you're painting metallics, if you aren't careful, you can literally flick those little metal flakes onto non-metallic areas. If you aren't careful, like if you don't, if you let your brush get a little too dry, if you make kind of flicking motions instead of just, smooth motions. I was kind of flicking there. That's why I brought it up. So you have to be real careful sometimes with metallics, especially depending on your brush motion. One thing I did not do either. Usually I base silver with black, just to prevent any colors from popping through, especially red, because red is very prone to do it. Anything bright will do it. But red's a really good one. And his fur is, you know, a red base for his fur. So red orange or red brown orange. So probably should have done that. But in the interest of time, we didn't. Okay, we're gonna get these shin guard doodads. We're gonna do it with actual painter brush this thing because that was real watery. And probably what I'll do on that wash, I said I'll use the non-oil gloss, but I'll probably use the black wash that's matte around the edges and do the gloss and then kind of like the center sections where the details are, because I want to kind of create a shadow, an edge around this metal, because it just blends right into the clothing here. So we need some sort of delineation. Ooh, we were way off screen. Sorry about that, guys. Some spot I missed too. Mm-mm. And then we'll catch this one. just a little bit of hair up in that corner. We're going to come in there and get that before we go any further with the silver. Well, we're going to finish this bit of silver, but before we move on to the wash and stuff, we're going to get that little bit taken care of. And the wash will cover most of it, honestly. I just want to make sure it's covered. All right. Hug. Got a little bit on the fur there. Oh well. And okay. We're going to try and get that a little bit touched up down here. Excess moisture out. Not enough. Come on, dude. There we go. And, this one's going to be hard to see me and the camera. Think that's going to be pretty good there. Okay, now we're going to come in and get some wash on there. So we're going to do this matte wash around the edges first. And I don't think I need these now. I think I can go back to my regular glasses. My eyes are retired for a minute. So what we want to do here is outline the black, or outline the metal. Won't matter if it's a little matte on the where it meets other objects, right? kind of working it around these shin guards here. Around the pants leg there. Let's get us some good definition. Same with this bit over here. And we're, like I said, we're doing this with the Vallejo wash because it's matte. So it won't matter if it's on the clothing or the skin. Now the gloss wash, it would look funny and you'd want to mat it down. And so we just do it this way. Okay, now we're going to come in with the gloss wash and hit the broad surfaces of the metal. If I can find my wash, let's see here. That it? Yeah, there's no oil gloss. Got some good definition there. I mean, you can slap that normal oil on there and really fill in those recesses, but I tend to go a little more conservative with it and only kind of paint around the details. If I can. I don't like it to see big pools of it sitting there. So what that means, I usually come back and I'll kind of wipe some of the pools out as they settle. Not always. It just depends. If a pool doesn't look right, I'll do that. Some places you want, especially this little filigree down here, is really small, so I want it to pop. I'm going to drop a little bit more wash around it. It kind of stands out. There we go. Got that done. to have to let that dry a little bit. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to work on that staff a little bit. So I'm going to mix some of that Mephiston with the black red. Come in and paint about 3/4 of the top surface. Well, actually more, about half. Okay, while that's drying, let's work on the little wispy effects that are going on here. I thought we were just going to finish today, but I just don't think we are. That's okay. That's okay. We got a good bit done. Pretty happy with it. This blue really, really pops against that orange. I like it. The other blue was nice, but this one sings. Okay. So we're just working around doing this I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call it just a magical effect because that's the only thing I can think of to call it. But it's basically where he's kind of like becoming real, where he's solidifying from the story. He's kind of gaseous to start with, and then he starts solidifying. And these are like the last traces of him materializing, I guess. But yeah, we'll just call it a magic effect or a magical effect for lack of wanting a better term. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Lunch says hi. So we'll work this up basically toward a very, very light blue, almost white color. I got it on his pants. And that was almost why I left that arm off. I was like, it fits so tight, I can just pop it in there. I don't have to worry about it. I almost left it off so I could get in there and do that a lot easier, and I didn't. And look what happened. Sometimes those sub-assemblies can save you rework, and other times they can make work for you. So it depends. This is one of those times it would have saved me. We'll get it. We will fix it though. The good thing is basically just the first highlight, I think, on that, because the other ones had kind of dried up. So it's a good thing it was the first highlight that we blipped onto. Look at there, never know what happened. How about that? The magic of paint. I used to like absolutely freak out when I'd make a mistake. I still occasionally do, especially if it's on something like a high-end project and I've spent, hours on that section, and my hand goes stupid and I drag a brush all the way across the work. Those times I'll freak out, but most of the time, little things like this, just like, oh, whoops, I'll correct that in a minute. I'll get to you in a second. No mistakes, just happy accidents. Well, I don't fully believe that, but at least not in miniature painting. There are mistakes there, but most of them are fairly easy corrected. Bob Ross isn't entirely wrong. He's fun to listen to, though, regardless. It's just so chill. I've had people say I sound like him, but I don't know about that. Okay. Then we're going to come in with a little bit of that Mephiston by itself. I'm wanting a little darker red here. We're just going to kind of cover this section of it. Not quite all the way to the middle. And not all the way quite down on either side. So that's it for that. And then going back and painting that magical effect here on top of the head. think he's turning out pretty good, guys. Now we're going to come in with a little bit of Evil Sons. Cut just a little bit less than the leather part. Like right there. Get a little finger eraser in there, kind of blend that in. Okay, I'm blending that back a little bit with that previous color, the Fiston and black red mix. And that should kind of tone that area right back down right here. Where I want it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and do... Nah, we'll do that later. I'm going to go ahead and work on those magical effects. Okay, so now we're going to, this is Sotek Green. Come in here and start painting some of this down. Not a huge difference between what we're using, but we're going to add some white to it here in a second and start pulling in some of these highlights, and it will then be a big difference. I just kind of want to set the tone first, because before we were a little bit more on the blue side, now we're coming in a little bit more blue-green. And then we'll add white to that blue-green mixture for highlight. So we'll keep it all in the same family at that point. Taking a risk here. Going in between like that. Okay, almost done with this color. Now I'll start mixing some white into it. Go. Just working these highlights in. Oops. Tap the camera. How many times was that today? Really need a counter for that. We're just coming in and working these highlights in. Trying to follow those little ridges and swirls and stuff. Also, not enough glitter. We almost made it a whole stream without you saying that. Almost. Yeah, I know the hole's a little disconcerting, but we will fix that. I don't want it to do the tail and the book separately. This is bringing back memories of working on Harada as well. With all these little curly cues of water and stuff, or well, magical effect, but they look like the water that he had coalescing around his staff. Oh, you're trying to make up for it, huh? Okay, I see. It wasn't said enough, so you gotta get them all in at the end. I see. My God, Cat, are you okay? I don't know if you guys could hear him. Got some serious breathing problems going on. Like snororama. Does anybody else have a cat that snores? Router did. Now, was Router was the one you had when you were living in Michigan, right? Like, took me a second to recognize. It's like I know that name. Oh, Minnesota. Why did I say Michigan? I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't an insult. I know some people get testy when you mix up their states. Pumpkinhead. Okay, we're about to get this kind of magical effect thing whipped. Although it does look more like water than a magical effect, doesn't it? I mean, I guess water isn't the most horrible thing for it to look like, right? There's another time I heard him, but it took me like 10 minutes to find him under a footstool. Oh, wow. Yeah, man, my cat used to love the fireplace. That was their favorite spot, was in front of that thing when I had a roaring fire going. I don't miss the work, but I miss the fact that it kept the cats occupied and happy. No, I don't think wet monkeys smell much better than wet dogs either. No, or wet sheep for that matter. Let me tell you, wet sheep or wool is a horrible, horrible stench. And all you have to do to find out is go to a Highland game when it's raining, and you see all these guys walking around in their wool kilts, and the stench is just it's horrific. We're almost done, guys. Oh no. I don't think we're not done. We're definitely not going to finish him. I want to get a couple more little bits on this hair magical effect. And he's mostly done. Like, I got to come in and touch up some silver and do some more magical effect and do his tail in the book. And I mean, he's there. So I feel like we almost finished him. Not upset at all. And yep, she has posted my linkage there, folks, if you haven't already, follow that Willow link. That will take you to my social medias, my Twitch and my Facebooks and my Instagrams and all that good stuff. And like and follow. Doesn't cost you nothing. Be a whole lot cooler if you did. And all those things I normally say. If you're not already following Weird, please do so. Again, doesn't cost you nothing. Thank you for hanging out while we painted the Monkey King. We almost finished his elf up. We had a little bit more to do, some more magical effect, his little tail and book, and the end caps on the staff, and his the filigree and the bracelet. But I mean, we did a pretty good job today on getting the Monkey King knocked out, I think. Am I going the wrong way? Do I need to come back this way? Nope, I had it right. There we go. So there's the Monkey King. We almost got done with him. And it's a fun ride. I like this miniature. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more hair sculpted in so that you didn't have to do as much freehand. But overall, fantastic sculpt, easy to put together, and captures the spirit of the Monkey King, I think, really well. It actually kind of looks like American Board Chinese, where he has a more human face. Most of the times he's depicted with more of a, more the simian style nose. So this one's a little bit more human, which is interesting. Anyways, I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out, and we will catch you again next week with some more painters, and I will be back not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So see you then.